compassion means that we care about others and treat them with kindness. Showing compassion also demonstrates empathy in action, which is the ability to place ourselves in someone else's shoes in order to recognize their feelings and experiences. When we complete service or acts of kindness, we are showing empathy, which makes a profound and positive impact in our world.
Please stand in honor of our 8th graders and then remain standing for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nope, it's here. Mandatory. You take them to
demonstrating compassion. The students learn this lesson that you should put yourself in another person's shoes, but Finn takes it literally. Putting yourself in someone's shoes is simply an important expression to show compassion for others. In the skit, Finn puts on Sienna's shoes, and Sienna gets upset. Bree understands Sienna's concern and says that she has similar problems. Then, Finn cannot find his own shoes, so his friends help to look for them. Kelly eventually gives them back, and Josh says to Finn that he has the same problem of losing things and getting in trouble. Both of these are examples of shoes, and this is showing compassion. We all need we all need to have the ability to understand what each other is going through, imagine being in the situation, and comfort each other. So, take a moment to ponder this question. How can you show compassion in your daily lives?
Thank you, Uppy. We would now like to take this time to honor 11 pages who will become squires.
Friends say that this page is nice, compassionate, and a really great friend. She's also very respectful to her teachers and peers while always working hard to be a good student. Do you know who this squire is? The Knights of the Round Table hereby grant the status of squire to McKenna. McKenna, please come up to the stage to get your scroll. This page's friends say that he is a kind, respectful, and a self-disciplined student. He is not only a good friend, but a great actor and singer. Can you guess who the squire is? The Knights of the Round Table hereby grant the status of squire to Jack. Jack, please come to the stage to get your scroll. Friends say that this page is kind, respectful, and always listens to others. He not only is self-disciplined, but works hard to be a great student as well. Do you know who this squire is?
Yes.
The Knights of the Round Table hereby grant the status of squire to Musa. Musa, please come up to the stage to give your scroll. This page's friends say that she is respectful and responsible. She shows self-discipline and gratitude. Can you guess who the squire is? The Knights of the Round Table hereby grant the status of squire to Adeline. Adeline, please come up to the stage and give your scroll. This squire's friends say that he is funny and respectful. He is also very creative and nice to the people around him. Can you guess who this page is? The Knights of the Round Table hereby grant the status of squire to Henry. Henry, please come up to the stage and get your scroll. These page's friends say that he's fun to be around, determined, and hardworking. He is also a good friend. Can you guess who the squire is? The Knights of the Round Table hereby grant the status of squire to Beckett. Beckett, please come up to the stage and get your scroll. Friends say that he is funny, competitive, and respectful to his peers and teachers. He is respectful and shows compassion to anyone that he meets. This page's friends also say that he is responsible and a great friend to have.
Can you guess who the squire is? The Knights of the Round Table hereby grant the status of squire to Sean.
This Paige's friends say that she is funny, always hardworking, and is respectful to her peers and teachers. She is a good friend and is always there for you when you need it. Can you guess who the squire is? The Knights of the Round Table hereby grant the status of squire to Anam. Anam, please come up to the stage and make a show of hands. This Page's friends say that he is kind, cooperative, smart, and respectful to his peers and teachers. He is always nice to everyone and loves to listen to his peers. Can you guess who the squire is? The Knights of the Round Table hereby grant the status of squire to Rayan. Rayan, please come up to the stage. This Page's friends say that he is hardworking, self-disciplined, courageous, and honest to his peers and teachers. He is funny and is always optimistic no matter what. Can you guess who the squire is? The Knights of the Round Table hereby grant the status of squire to Ishan. Page's friends say that he is kind and compassionate. He is funny and always makes the people around him laugh. Can you guess who the squire is? The Knights of the Round Table hereby grant the status of squire to Jeff.
Congratulations, squires, and may you continue on your path to knighthood. We would like to welcome Shira to the stage to talk about the completion of her knight project.
Hello, I'm Shira, and today I'm going to be talking to you about my night project. So, what is St. Jude's Children's Hospital? St. Jude's Children's Hospital is a hospital where they treat the most toughest childhood cancers and pediatric diseases. Why did I choose to support this organization? I wanted to help all those kids who are going through cancer, and the people who donate money are helping to pay for all the medication needed so these kids can get better. So how did I support St. Jude's Children's Hospital? I made soaps from scratch and I sold them. My goal was to try to raise about $150 or more and donate it. I also created a website and I reached out to all my friends, neighbors, and family. Some of the challenges I faced along the way. Making soaps on a weekday because I had lots of homework and extracurriculars. And at first people didn't buy my soaps. And raising the amount of money for this project. How did I sell these soaps outside of the Quest community? I sold them to neighbors in my apartment. I sold them to some of my friends and through my dad's work. And I also made a website. The outcomes of my project. I was finally able to raise $150. I learned new things. I was able to help kids with cancer. And I learned that right when you start a small business, people don't buy your materials straight away. And I learned that even if a few things go wrong, I always have to persevere. Special thanks to my friends, my families, my teachers, Miss Dionis, Haley, and Alex. Thank you.
So, what is Feed My Starving Children? It is a nonprofit organization which provides nutritious meals which are sent to different countries, such as Uganda and Kenya. So, my goal that I had was to send food to other countries by working at FMSC. So, the reason I chose to do this was because if there's no food, then it would lead to malnutrition and health problems. So, why did I choose to support FMSC? Because almost 9% of the world's population go to bed hungry. And I felt like a lot of countries in the world barely have enough food to survive. So, I figured that health is definitely a top priority. So, how do I support FMSC? I packed food, so just me and my family. We packed over 150 boxes by my team, which would be more than 5,400 meals, and 1,200 boxes packed in total, which is more than 43,240 meals. And if you didn't know, 36 meals is one box, and one box is a person's fed for a year. So, my challenges, time slots, because sometimes when I wasn't free, there were some available, and when I was free, some spots weren't available. And being there on time, although it was only 15 minutes away from my house, the first couple of days it was a bit hard. So, outcomes. So the good thing was that I was able to impact the community globally, and meals were sent to other countries, and there were more healthier people. So I learned that people are barely getting enough food, and that you shouldn't be wasting your food. So one thing that you could do to help is order less and then more instead of ordering more then less, because sometimes people don't eat all they order, and then that food goes to waste. So, special thanks to Ms. Dionis, the Knights, the FMSU organization, my friends, including Shamir, and my parents. Thank you.
Thank you, Pooja. Your service to Feed My Starving Children is admirable and will definitely benefit those in our global community. Great work. We would now like to welcome Miles to the stage.
Good afternoon, my name is Miles Waddell, and I want to present to you my night project. I supported ESCO, which is a soccer program for underprivileged youth. So why did I choose this for my project? I am passionate about soccer, and I think all kids deserve an opportunity to play in an organized environment. The ESCO soccer program for underserved youth supports underprivileged youth because it gives people a chance to play soccer in an organized environment. And to do this, the place needs money for funds and to coach. So all funds that I raise will go directly to coaching and new soccer equipment. How did I accomplish this? I sold Limonati's pizza coupons throughout my community to my teammates and my family members. I also sold coupons, and I created flyers, emails, and I went door to door asking people to support my cause. In addition, I volunteered my time to be youth coach in free soccer clinics. How long did this project carry out for? This carried out for 1 month, March 16th to April 16th. It was 1 week of organizing, 2 weeks of selling, and 1 week of delivering all the coupons. Additional time was spent volunteering at the free coaches clinics. So what challenge did I face? I didn't have a lot of time to finish my project. It was hard to communicate to everybody that I was doing my project. It was hard to get everyone to buy my coupons, and it took a while to deliver everything to everyone. So the outcome, I raised 100 coupons, which is a total of $500 for ESCO. Special thanks to Ms. Dionis, the Knights, my parents, ESCO leaders, my coaches, and everyone that bought coupons, and everyone else that helped me through my project. Thank you for listening.
Nice job, Miles. I bet the funds you
will help many underprivileged kids build a deep passion for soccer as you did. Now we'd like to invite Ria and Manya to the stage to talk about their night project.
Good afternoon. My name is Ria.
And my name is Manya.
And we're supporting the Reuse Issue program.
What is the Reuse Issue program? It is a program run by the Solid Waste Agency of Lake County, also known as SWALCO. They recycle shoes in any condition, so it doesn't matter whether the shoes have holes in them or are in pristine condition. Any shoes that are good, they will donate to people in need, but any shoes that need repair will be crafted into other items and given to people that need them.
Why did we support the Reuse Issue program? Because 85% of shoes are in landfills, and there are many people with excess shoes. There's also a lot of people that don't have access to them.
How did we support the Reuse Issue program? First, we created flyers and emailed them out to our neighbors. And then we set up donation boxes in our neighborhoods for around 3 weeks. There was also a donation box in an office that was there for 2 weeks. Here you can see some of the shoes that we collected.
Some challenges we faced when we carried out this project were advertising the drive and separating pairs of shoes from those shoes that had none, and storing the shoes for a long period of time so we could schedule a drop-off location.
The outcome of our project is that we collected over 250 shoes, and here's a picture of us at the drop-off site.
A special thanks to Ms. Dionis, our parents, Merlan Rampil and Mark Fleischman for helping us coordinate the drive at Swalco, and all the people who donated.
Thank you, Manya and Ria. I'm sure your efforts will definitely make a positive impact in reducing landfill waste. We'd now like to welcome Nishant to the stage to discuss how he made a difference cleaning lakes in local communities.
Good afternoon. My name is Nishant and I'm in 7th grade. I consider myself as an environmental enthusiast, and I usually get excited with EPA-related projects. Many of us know the impacts of climate change, and I decided to help save our planet by treating our polluted water bodies. So I got particularly interested in this topic after my science fair project. And the organizations benefiting from my service are the Illinois Lake Management Association and the Homeowners Association. And I've committed myself to treat 3 to 4 lakes around the community alongside the ILMA and the HOA and water specialists by the end of April 2022. I chose to support these organizations because harmful algal blooms, which is a bacteria that is detrimental for water bodies, are not only a local or countrywide problem, but they are a global problem. 800 tons of fish have been killed in Florida due to harmful algal blooms, and drinking water costs have increased by 5 to 10%, and companies have lost $1 billion, and real estate prices have decreased by 25%. I identified 4 lakes around Illinois, and then I sampled the water bodies to understand the nutrient levels, and then I decided to treat the anaerobic decay coming from trees. I cleaned out invasive plants and algae using the natural enzymes and chemicals, and finally I resampled the water to ensure that it is pollutant-free. This was a wonderful process, but I faced many challenges, some including weather like the snow, heavy winds, and low temperature, the availability of water specialists, the ILMA, and the HOA, balancing my schoolwork and extracurricular activities along with my service project, and ensuring all safety procedures are adhered. I was able to treat 4 lakes around Illinois, and with the right chemicals and the right enzymes, and I was able to restock the ecosystem and food chain with the largemouth bass, bluegill, red-eared sunfish, fathead minnows. Finally, I authored a spring newsletter describing my treatment process, the impacts of my work on the HOA, and future recommendations to sustain a balanced ecosystem. I'd like to thank Mr. Stoffergen, Dr. Hauser, Mrs. Dionis, my parents, Mr. and Mrs. Von Kampen, Mr. and Mrs. Schmidt, Mr. Mueller, Mr. Koziel, and Anya. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Ms. Schott. I'm sure those residents and wildlife are grateful for your work. Knights, please begin preparations for the knighting ceremony.
Hi, Mr. Frank. I am not Mr. Stoffergen, but today I am walking in his shoes. 12 students representing Quest Academy went to the state science fair. 3 of them brought home silver medals and 9 came home with gold medals. I'd like to announce their names, and if they should come up if they're in the gym today. Arya Barre, I believe she's virtual. Sanve Sirapaneni, Riley Wold, just come out. Sumera Gupta, Aish Ithara, Shivani Ganeshan, Matthew Dom, Ave Garg, Luke Schmidt, Manya Halwania, Nishant Narayanan, and Gael Diaz. I've been on the other end of handing out awards, and it's a very difficult process. All right, thank you. There were also something called Broadcom Master Competition winners. Broadcom is an independent organization that invites the top 10% from the state exposition to compete in the competition next fall. The winners can potentially go to Washington, D.C. for the national exposition. 4 Quest students were chosen. Those students were Shivani, Sumer, Manya, and Avi. Congratulations. There's also a Best in Category award. We got 2 of those. The sun just came out. Best in Category for Microbiology was Sumer. Congratulations, Sumer. Best in Category for Environmental Sciences was Nishant. Congratulations. And there was one other special award from the Illinois Water Environment Association, which also went to Nishant. Congratulations. Please join me in congratulating all of our young scientists.
Thank you, Mr. Frank. We would now like to welcome Mrs. Diaz to the stage for some announcements on track and field.
Need to organize myself a little. We just had our track and field sectional meet this past Saturday, and I just wanted to give out some of the awards, make some announcements to recognize some of our athletes. So for the 7th grade team, which I don't think the 7th grade class is here, I just want to mention them. 5th grade for 100-meter hurdles is Brooklyn Murphy. Okay, Brooklyn Murphy. 4th grade for the 4x100-meter relay is Soraya, Sanaya, Shira, and Brooklyn. Okay. And then 6th place for long jump was also Soraya. We had a small team, but they did a great job, so just wanted to recognize them. So the boys' 7th grade team, I had, for the 110-meter hurdles, 1st place was Miles. And 5th place was Elliot Burke. And then we had also Miles run the 1,600-meter run, and he got 2nd place. And then also the 800-meter run, which he got 6th place. And the way that they run the track meets is they do have the 7th grade and below as a separate qualification for state, and then they have the 8th graders in their own category for qualifying for state. Miles did qualify in the 110-meter hurdles, so wanted to recognize him. And then we have the 8th grade team. For the 110-meter hurdles, we had Julian in 2nd place. 3rd place was Luke. In the 100-meter run or dash, we had 5th place for Matthew Lee. In the 1,600-meter run, we had Riley, 1st place. 2nd place for Gael Diaz. In the 4x200-meter relay, we got 1st place with Jacob Plotnick. and Matthew. And in the 4x100 meter relay, we got second place with Miles Woodall. Miles Lucas, Elliot, and Rohan. In the 400 meter run, we got first place with Reed Peterson. In the 200 meter run, Matthew Lee got first place, Jacob got fourth. In our 4x400 meter relay, Gael, they got first place with Gael Diaz, Jacob Connor, Riley, and Reed. In shot put, we got third place with Rohan. I don't have the third place for Rohan. Discus, Riley got third place, Gael got fifth place. And Matthew Lee got second place in long jump. I just want to make mention for the team, the 8th grade boys team. We had a lot of state qualifiers, and I'll mention them afterwards, but as a team, they did win sectionals. So I just want to congratulate them. Apparently their score doubled the second place team, so they did a fantastic job. So I just want to make sure they're recognized for that. And then I just want to make sure we mention the state-bound kids, which will be going on this weekend on Friday and Saturday. You guys step forward, okay? So Gael Diaz, Julian, Matthew Lee, Jacob, Reed, Riley, and Miles. That was it. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mrs. Diaz. Mr. Shawnick, can you please join us on stage? We can't wait to hear the achievements of the debate team.
What a year. So many great accomplishments. In my many years of Quest, it was a goal of mine to try to find a competitive debate league. And we were asked this summer if we would like to join the middle school debate league, and I said, yes, absolutely, we could do it yesterday. So just a little bit about debate. There are a number of different kinds of debate, but what we compete in, we're in the IMSPL League, which is a number of schools in Indiana and sort of around the suburbs of Chicago. It's called policy debate. And in policy debate, you have teams of 2 who are either debating in the affirmative or in the negative, and they have the constructives, they have the rebuttals, and they have cross-examinations. Each debate round can last up to an hour and a half, depending on the judges' comments and so forth. So in trying to do this, we knew it would be a big commitment. We had at least 5 tournaments this summer or this year, and the tournaments after championship rounds and so forth, last all day. We're here at 7:45 a.m. and we were walking out of the building sometimes after 6 p.m. So the contribution the kids made and the time they put in, and I have to thank the parents, because we had a number of parents who helped organize lunches and all that good stuff, and we couldn't have done it without them. So I'm just going to kind of talk about some of our accomplishments in 4th grade. And any people who didn't go out next year, right? We're going to do it, yes? So we had, at our height, we had 38 kids competing in debate. And that's obviously anywhere from 18 to 19 teams, which is incredible because the commitment is crazy. So I'm going to call a bunch of people up and then kind of go over some of their accomplishments. These are, we debate 4 rounds, and depending on how you do, your wins and losses, you can then enter into the championship round. And in the championship round, they put you in rooms, but you don't know whether you're competing for first and second place or 15th and 16th place. But to get into the championship round at all, and to win is amazing. So out of our teams, we had a total of 18 teams, I think, at our height, and I think 12 teams either qualified for the championship round at some point during the year or won championship rounds. So if I could call some of those people up. These are teams that qualified for championship rounds, not winning it necessarily, but qualifying. Adam and Sohan. Soraya and Simeon. Bruce and Amarjot. Mark and Rhea C. Haley and Skylar. Pujak and Sanj, Mikey and Robbie, Anam and Brooklyn, Rayon and Vedant. Now we also have Manya and Shivani, Alex and Arnav, and Nishant and Samir. And I'm going to talk to them about them a little bit more. So to have this many teams having qualified for a championship round at all is amazing. And I'd really like to, really say how proud I am of our 8th graders, because they took the lead, they showed such leadership, and they just did such great things. And I want, Skylar and Hayden were awesome. They competed in JV matches a couple of times, which is a big challenge. But Skylar, from the beginning, we had a number of kids who went over to a debate camp at Northwestern, sponsored by the IMSDL. And Skylar took to this like you wouldn't believe. And if I had any questions, or if I didn't know what was going on, Skylar, can you teach us? Skylar, can you do this? And we could not have done anywhere near. And to be honest, all the kids, because they learned it better than me. I have a lot of learning to do next year. But the teaching that they did and the leadership and the camaraderie was just amazing. So some highlights. Manya and Shivani. We had essentially 4 tournaments. Manya and Shivani in Tournament 1, 2nd place. Tournament 3, 3rd place. Tournament 4, championship, like they won the championship. And Tournament 5, 2nd place. Amazing. Alex and Arnav. You'll have to correct me, I'm not sure how many times you got in the championship round, but they got 4th place one tournament, and they got into the championship round in the last tournament, and because they won their championship round, they got into the Tournament of Champions I'll talk about in a minute. Nishant and Samir, Tournament 3, championship. Tournament 4, 5th place. Tournament 5, championship. And it just so happens that Nishant and Samir defeated Mani and Shivani for 1st place. So we had both teams in the championship in that 5th round, so it's great. So at the end of the year, throughout the year, we gained points depending on how many wins you had, depending if you had won in the championship round and so forth. To understand, we had well over 100 novice teams of 2 with all the teams. And Nishant and Samir were the number 1 ranked team in our league going into this Tournament of Champions. Mani and Shivani were the number 2 ranked team. Alex and Arnav were the 7th ranked team. Nishant, Samir, Manya, and Shivani had a choice. They also did kind of well at state science fair. It was on the same day. So we tried, but they couldn't make it. Said, you've got to go to science fair, you can't miss that. So because they had to step out, Alex and Arnav advanced a little bit higher, and Soraya and Simeon, with a big win in the 5th round, in the 5th tournament, they got to compete in the Tournament of Champions. So we had 8 teams from the IMSDL, 8 teams from the Chicago Metro Debate League. Both teams won their 1st round match. They lost their 2nd round, still kind of trying to figure out what happened on post. But that means that they were in the final 8, 6th grade teams, they were in the final 8 of both leagues with over 100 teams. So the accomplishments that these kids did in debate is just fantastic, and I just could not be any prouder. Now I'm going to make a pitch. 4th graders and moving up 7th and 8th graders, or I guess 6th graders. And I cannot say enough about our 5th graders. Mikey joined late, Robbie joined late, and just did great stuff. We have summer school from the 13th to the 17th and the 20th through the 24th. If you want to sign up for that, we'd love to have you. But if you can't do that, there's an IMSDL debate camp at Northwestern from August 1st through August 5th. It's Monday through Friday. You can go all days, but it shows you the profiles, and you learn how to debate, and you debate at the end of the week. And it's a great league run by an amazing young woman who's a senior in Northwestern. So anybody has any questions, parents, if you got any questions, email me. But great job, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Shahanek, and a nice job, debate team. Senora Krop, can you please join us on stage to announce the results of the National Spanish exam?
In April, all 7th and 8th grade Spanish students had the opportunity to take the National Spanish exam. Here were the results. There are 4 categories of distinction on the national level. We have honorable mention, bronze, silver, and gold, or honor, bronce, plata, y oro. When I call your name, please come up to the stage and come stand in a line. We will applaud for each group, and then I'll hand you your certificates. So, in the distinction of mención honorífica for scoring at or above the 50th percentile through the 74th percentiles, I have Jacob Plotnick, Aria Barba, Sohan Yusmi, Riley Gold, Ashley Pugh, Luke Schmidt, Mina Malaketti, Zoe Johnson, Pujak Patel, Nishant Narayanan, Stephanie Raw, Paul Radisek, Everett Masterson, and William Delage. Give them a round of applause. Way to go, guys. Earning the Premio de Bronce for scoring from the 75th through the 84th were Jeff Zabelski and Leela Nassetti. Earning Premio de Plata or Silver for scoring from the 85th through the 94th percentiles were James Bratcher, Aish Ikara, Sandy Sorpanini, Sanj Garg, and Shivani Ganeshan. Jimmy, come back. Yeah, stay here for a second. Oh, I forgot Matthew Tom. Matthew, you're Plata as well. Come on up, Matthew. Sorry. Oh, Oh, good, you're right here. Okay, good job. All right. Earning Premio de Oro, the highest national score for getting 95th percentile or higher. We have Manya Halwania, Alyssa Bourgeois, who's up on the catwalk so she can't come down. Way to go, Alyssa. And Avigar. Okay, now also in addition to placing in the national competition, we also participate in the Chicago area competition, and it's a little more of an elite group to be compared with, so it's a little more difficult competition. And so these students, Jimmy, Manya, Shivani, Alyssa, and Avi, all did extremely well. Some of them will even receive a cash reward in the Chicagoland area competition. So way to go, you guys. And finally, it is worth mentioning that an unprecedented achievement in the history of Quest's participation in the National Spanish Exam occurred this year. Avigard scored a 100% on the test. Only 100%ers get this award, and that made him the first place in the Chicagoland area for his category and level. Way to go, Avi. Thank you, students, for taking the test and applying yourself. Thank you for supporting Quest Academy Spanish. Thank you.
Thank you, Senora, and congrats to all the winners. Mrs. Howe, can you please join us on stage to announce the winners of the Noetic Math Awards?
Hello, will the following students please come forward? From second grade, Caleb. From third grade, Annabelle. Fourth grade, Maxim, Ryan, and Tommy. And fifth grade, Anthony and Tiffany. All of these students participated in the Noetic Math competition. They stayed after school one day in April. Some students are receiving purple and yellow medals for receiving the highest score in their grade. Other students who received the purple medals have scored in the top 10% nationally among all of the students who participated in the contest. Congratulations to these students on their fine performance. Oh, sorry, was Jack here? Yeah. Come on up, Jack. Will the following students please come forward? From 6th grade, Bruce. From 7th grade, Jimmy and Shivani. 8th grade, Alyssa, Ashley, Aria, Jacob, Matthew, John, Afi, David, Riley, and Sandy. In February, these students participated in a regional math counts competition, and they will receive certificates. And Alyssa's up on the catwalk, so yay for Alyssa. David Day placed 5th and will receive a cool triangle trophy. Let's congratulate all these students.
Thank you, Mrs. Howell. This concludes our pageant, everyone. Thank you for your attention. We appreciate all the hard work this community does every day to pursue excellence and to serve the local and global community as well.